This is CBS 5 Eyewitness News.
It came out of nowhere. A freak storm cell unloaded on the Bay Area this afternoon. In San Francisco, storm drains simply couldn't handle the huge volume of water in such a short amount of time. This was Folsom Street, right behind Moscone Center there. Water couldn't go down the drain, so it came up, way up. Cars and people had to slog through a flooded street there. And a very similar sight near Fisherman's Wharf. This is video captured by Nick Aragon at the intersection of Powell and Francisco Streets. And as you can see, water shooting up out of the manhole there. People in a nearby business scattered just to get away from the flood water. And the steps at the Van Ness Muni Station in San Francisco turned into a waterfall this afternoon. Look at that. One writer captured the video and posted it on YouTube. The Van Ness station is still closed this hour, but we're told all the others have reopened. The Powell-Mason cable car line also shut down right now. And here's what it looked like in Oakland. Jack London Square, about, this was 3 o'clock. Water pouring off the rooftops. Our photographer, Alex Montano, says it's the heaviest downpour he has ever seen living in the Bay Area. Umbrellas, not much help. In fact, most people didn't even pack them when they left home today. And a washout for parts of the evening commute, including this stretch of 280 in San Francisco. All the lanes at Mariposa Avenue suddenly underwater at the height of the storm. After the worst of that was over there, cars did manage to make it through in just the far left lane there. Joe Vasquez in San Francisco in the Mission District. Floodwaters quickly overwhelmed homes and businesses there. Joe?
Yeah, it smacked him hard here. I'm on Folsom Street, and this entire stretch between 17th and 18th got hammered. And we're talking about a dozen businesses and homes. Right here, the Stable Cafe, they are hurting. You can see the fire department inside there. We're talking about art galleries. We're talking about homes. And in fact, this apartment building, we're just told that the Red Cross has been called out because some of these folks are going to have to leave their homes. In some cases, water was standing more than 3 feet high.
See, this up, these are the way for us, see? 40 inch in the backyard.
40 inches?
In the backyard. Here at 25.
Art and water do not mix. I cut stencils and make paintings with the stencils, and they're in those tubes over here. 10 years of sitting around cutting stencils, and it's all gone. City of San Francisco did the construction to try to fix this problem, and obviously didn't think it through enough because a 15-minute downpour destroyed 10 years of work.
And this whole area turns into a lake back here, runs up to the restaurant and into the backyard over there. And
this happened before, 4 years ago.
4 years ago in March, and it was a more severe rainstorm. But the thing that puzzles me is that a year later, the water department came in and put in about a $6 million pumping station 100 feet up right at the intersection of 17th and Shotwell, and I'm surprised that it seems to have had no effect.
And we're back live. We're joined by Deputy Chief Pat Gardner. And Chief, I just heard you call for hazardous material out here and to have part of Folsom Street closed down. Why is that?
Because we're going to set up a technical decon for all, not only for the people that are working at this incident, all the firefighters, but the people in the building who've been walking through raw sewage. We have 12 buildings affected, and the basements are still flooded with visible raw sewage.
And so some of these folks are going to have to leave.
Right. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stay here tonight. We have DPW, PG&E Gas and Electric here. We're probably going to end up shutting down the power to these buildings. But they're unsafe and untenable now due to the fact that there is about a foot of raw sewage water in all the basements of all the buildings on the whole square block.
Chief, the issue is raised. This is not an area that is a stranger to high water. The PUC recently built a facility here to deal with this. Do you have any idea what will happen?
From what I understand from the DPW is the amount of rain that we got in a short period of time, the system was overwhelmed and the water backed up. And in that time, we had problems all over. There's sinkholes, there's flooding all over the town. But this right now is the biggest area that we have affected.
All right, Chief, thank you for your time. And I should mention that I also spoke with Tony Whitaker of the PUC. He said they believe this pump station is working. They're just going to have to sort through that. The bottom line, they got hammered within an hour here in the city of San Francisco, and not just here, but in areas they're not accustomed to having flash flooding. Roberta Gonzalez joins us now to explain what happened.
And Joe, where you're standing, over 6/10 of an inch of rain fell in just 60 minutes alone. And I got to tell you, the computer models never, ever had a good handle on this cold front. But once it did, We had our high-def Doppler radar started picking up the activity with the cells developing and popping all over the Bay Area. What is left now is just some light rain showers due west of the 680 for the evening commute. San Jose, some hit and miss light rain showers around the downtown sector, backing through Willow Glen into the Almaden Valley. Otherwise, it's around the peninsula. We're picking up a moderate rain cell still around the Santa Cruz Mountains. All this is going to drift towards Sunnyvale within the next 20 minutes. Otherwise, these showers will begin to taper off and gradually decrease in activity. However, still right there, a random shower pick it up in the North Bay heading towards the Petaluma area. In the next 15 minutes, I'd say that you're going to hear some pretty heavy raindrops on your rooftops. And this is where the National Weather Service has issued a flood advisory still in effect. Alameda, Cocoa County, Santa Clara, San Francisco, and San Mateo counties. And while we have had these heavy downpours this afternoon, it caused some pretty nasty commutes along the roadways here in the Bay Area. Our own Simon Perez, he was tracking the heavy rain and shows us at least one water rescue.
Tracking the rain, Roberta, and also stuck in some of that traffic. Let me show you what's going on now. This is Harrison Street in the south of Market neighborhood in San Francisco. The next street over is 6th Street. You turn left there, and that's your access onto 280. Traffic slowly moving now, but boy, during that rainstorm, it was backed up as storm drains backed up and the water flooded onto the streets of San Francisco. How much? Take a look at this video. This is Morris Street, a little alley off of south of Market where the depth of the water really fooled a couple of drivers pretty seriously this afternoon. The road takes a big dip in the middle, plus the drains clogged, so driving through the water was absolutely impossible. In fact, the driver of a Mini Cooper got stuck and she panicked because she had her children with her in the car. She called 911. The police showed up too, but the water deceived the sergeant as well.
I don't know. I was just so scared for my little one because she was like, Mama, the water is touching my feet. She was in her car seat and the water was touching her shoes. And I was like, you know what, we're going to get out of this, but of course I was nervous.
I kept driving up Morris Alley and I looked at this pickup truck sitting in 2 inches of water and thought, oh, it's not bad. And I made it to about the middle of the puddle and water started rolling in over the top of my car windows, and before I knew it, it was up to my knees in the car and the car died. And here I am, soaked from the waist down and out of police car for the rest of the shift. And
so it's not a puddle?
No, it's not a puddle, no.
Not a puddle at all. Certainly from those pictures you can tell just how deceptive it is. Certainly a word of warning. When you see that water, don't trust that you know really how deep it is. Alan, but pretty much as quickly as it came, it's gone. A little water here in the gutters, but traffic starting to move again and everybody getting back onto the freeway.
Boy, the trouble spots are pretty obvious tonight. All right, Simon Perez, thanks.